And welcome to episode 29 of the Beer Bullshit Show! Woo! I'm the host, Chris Bennett, and we have Ruby and Nick on tonight, and we got James Babb. He'll probably be floating in and out, yeah, like you just did. Also, Annie and Garrett will not be joining us for a while. Due to Garrett's early work schedule, they have opted not to join us for a while. So if you know anybody that would admirably fill in for Annie and Garrett for a while, let me know, and I'll do my best to get them on. Because I'd hate to see it just the same 3 or same 4 people or whatever.
Like looking at me?
Well, we all like looking at you, Ruby. And Nick's over there going, yeah, especially after a few drinks. Anyway, no, just seriously, I just think I've always wanted, a certain set and number of people on the show, and when it's just maybe just 3 or 4 people, it just kind of gets, there's tends to be a lot of silence amongst us. So, also, I took a detour home from my venture today, and we stopped at Three Floyds.
Awesome.
And they were just releasing, and I wish I would have had extra money to do this. They were just releasing their new Zombie Dust.
New or like another new batch?
Another new batch, I think, of Zombie Dust. There was a line, a pretty nice line when I got there at 2:00, and people were buying cases of the Zombie Dust for about $40 a case.
Getting bad, maybe.
So, that's where originally I wanted to go to this brewery in Valparaiso called, what was it called? It was called Figure 8 Brewery. And they have 3 breweries actually in Valparaiso. But since I'll be spending some time there in the future, I'll have ample time visiting the breweries there. Anything else? Not really much anything else on my end. I haven't gotten really any new beer. Well, I did get the 12-pack of New Belgium's Folly. They had it on sale over at Hy-Vee for $12. So I had to pick up a 12-pack of that. Just to note, 2 weeks from today is the Oktoberfest show.
Man, the beer stores are so full of Oktoberfest beer now. It's nuts.
Oh, I know. So don't go over crazy on the whole Oktoberfest thing. I know Benny's you can get like mix and match 6-packs. So if you just get like maybe 6 different Oktoberfest beers, I'm probably gonna plan on getting like the mix and match kind of thing from Friar and from Hy-Vee, and just do it that way. I'm not gonna buy like 12 different 6-packs of Oktoberfest.
No.
Just for a show. So that's what I'm gonna do. And since I want to do a little sampling. Plus, there are some beers that I'm sure, and I know Scott wants to be on the show. So I know that there's some beers out his way that we probably couldn't get here. I know there's probably some stuff up where you, Nick and Ruby, you live, okay, that I can't get down here, that Jim Bab can't get out in Pennsylvania, and blah, blah, blah. So I think it would be kind of unique on everybody's translation or their own little thing about the Oktoberfest. So their own little rendition, of their Oktoberfest. So I'll remind everybody next week that the week after will be the Oktoberfest. Plus, it coincides with the week before my birthday, so I thought it would be like a nice little special thing.
Cool.
So yeah, my birthday's coming up. So anybody listening out there, send beer to me. Okay, good beer. So, Jibab.
Yo.
All right. Do we have you for a little bit?
I think as long as the bandwidth holds, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, for some reason the laptop wasn't working, so I'm trying the iPad. Seems to be working. So
Okay.
anyway.
So what you got there, Jim Bab?
Well, first let me just preface it again with that I'm broadcasting live from the Village Wash Tub in Southwest Harbor, Maine, and which is my favorite Wi-Fi around here. I got to give them a plug. I actually did my laundry here earlier today, so it's a great spot. And while I'm in Maine, I'm trying to drink some of the fine Maine beers we have. I think I had this one the other night. It's called Another One by the Maine Beer Company. I don't know if you can make that out. There we go.
Yep.
One of my favorite beers of the summer. Absolutely kick-ass. Just a nice, solid IPA. Anyway, that's what I'm enjoying right now. Next week, in fact, the end of this week, I go. I'm going to be stopping at their brewery in Freeport, Maine. I'm looking forward to that. There's a beer that hopefully I can drink when I get there called Dinner.
Oh.
It's only available during a few occasional bottlings, but you can drink it there. You can't fill a growler or anything, but I can at least have a taste while I'm there. And then it's New Hampshire, and then before I go home, it's going to be Hill Farmstead and The Alchemist, to load up for the return. So
Does The Alchemist have a store yet?
No, they don't. No, so maybe I'll be going to that wine store that you pointed out to me last time.
Yeah.
In Waterbury. But anyway, I'll be in Waterbury looking for it, and I'll be there during the week, so I think there's a good chance I'll be able to score a case or two. The problem is with the Bab family caravan, our minivan is packed to the hilt, and so I think like Dorothy's going to have a case of Heady Topper on her lap for like the last 500 miles. But she's willing.
I'm still wondering how you talked your family into 2 months of camping.
It's 3 months.
Well, yeah, it's 2 months, but we're not like roughing it or anything. I mean, we've got like nice tents, plenty of room. Pretty much just having fun every day, hiking, drinking beer, hiking some more, eating out.
Your kids drinking.
There's not a lot to complain about unless it rains.
So you've been up and down most of New England, if not this year, some other year. Have you ever come across the campground that can't handle shit?
You mean besides Rogers?
Yes.
Right. That's our point exactly.
Hey, there's plenty of crappy campgrounds out there. We've pulled in, hoping to stay in places and just left you know, and just been like, sorry, we're out. You know, we had a reservation, but no way. We no longer make reservations at campgrounds sight unseen. We just don't do that. So, but yeah, Rogers. Ooh, Rogers is a special brew. You know, I mean, God. If it wasn't for those pesky kids, the toilets would work. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. So what have you guys been up to? I know I kind of came in late due to the tech problem.
Well, I was just saying, Jim Bab, that 2 weeks from today is the Oktoberfest show. So make sure that you pick up some Oktoberfest style beer for the show. And I went to Three Floyds Brewery today in Munster, Indiana.
Nice.
They got some excellent beers there. So it's the home of the Zombie Dust, Gumball Head, Alpha King is another good one.
Did you score some Zombie Dust?
I didn't have enough money.
Oh.
So I know.
But you can't buy it there?
You can buy it there. Yeah. In fact, they were releasing a new batch of Zombie Dust today, and there was a pretty good line for it, and they were selling it for about $40 a case.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Did you
good.
try that?
No.
Well, do you want to know what we're drinking?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm having something that I've never had before that I found in Indiana that I've never seen. And it's Ommegang Fleur de
Houblon.
Fleur de Houblon Summer Ale. And it says, nothing is more evocative of summer than flowers, and the favorite flowers of brewers are hops. Fleur de Houblon Ale, hop flower ale, is a rich gold color with a distinct floral hops in the aroma that follow through in the taste. The body and the flavor are clean and dry with pleasing complexity, spicy notes from our unique Ommegang house heath. So it's actually really delicious. It's really good. And then I also have my favorite Ommegang Henny Pin in the fridge if I need it. But okay, tell them what you're drinking, and then we'll go into what we have next.
Well, last week we missed a show because we had a family emergency and had to go to Indiana. And while we were waiting for my uncle to get out of surgery, we ventured around and found a beer store, and I scored a sixer of Alpha King, and then I did a make a six of just some local beers down there. They have a brewery called Carson City that was pretty good. And I also found 2 Zombie Dust. Just 2 bottles of Zombie Dust.
Sitting on the counter when we went to check out.
Yep.
We were totally like, those are ours. They belong to us.
So, bought that. Alpha King is really freaking good. It's like one of the best pale ales I've had. And I should have saved it for tonight, but I couldn't. I did a side-by-side tasting of the Alpha King and the Zombie Dust, and I put them in identical glasses and closed my eyes and had her mix them up to see if I could tell which one I really liked the best. And it was Zombie Dust. Zombie Dust is better.
They're both really good. I mean, they both are kind of similar. But Zombie Dust is...
It's like more dank. Like you can smell the buds in it. You can taste it.
It's delicious. So we both agreed because he did the same thing to me. Like I didn't know which one was which, and I also picked the Zombie Dust. So while Alpha King is also delicious, Zombie Dust does win the match.
And also, while we were down in Indiana,
I found this.
Yeah.
I found this, and I was like, I don't care what it tastes like. We have to buy it. So it's all funked up Wild Series 5 Roses of Rick Astley joint. You know who Rick Astley is, right?
Yeah,
Never
I'm hoping.
Who is he?
You don't know who he is?
Is it the Rickrolled guy?
Yes!
Yep.
Yes.
Never gonna
So
give
he-
you up. Never gonna
Somebody
let you...
Rickrolled a beer is basically what happened.
Yes. So,
It's a wild
and it's
Kolsch.
a wild Kolsch aged in red cypress. It's brewed and bottled at Against the Grain Brewery in Louisville, Kentucky. So anyway, that is what we're going to be opening next, is our Rickrolled beer.
Somebody Rickrolled a Kolsch.
Yep.
How the hell did that happen?
I don't know, but we're totally going to drink this shit.
Interesting. Interesting.
I have no idea.
But
what
isn't
it's
the whole idea? Isn't the whole idea of Rickrolling somebody to have like the label be something that's completely wrong, right? And then they, and then you open it up and it's Rick Astley.
Yeah.
Maybe it is not a Kolsch.
So yeah, so who knows what it actually is?
We'll let you know when we're done with this.
Now I'm.
Yeah, now we're like, I wanted, and I mean, it's all funked up. So, I don't know. I'm interested in it. I found it. I think it was like $10 or something.
No, it was only like 7.
Oh, well, I don't know. But it was like one of the only ones left in this aisle. It was like way back in the back, like nobody had fronted it, and I was like, "What is that?" And I pulled it forward. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, This is mine. Like, we have to get this. You can't leave here without the Rick Astley joint, 5 Roses, Kolsch, whatever the hell this is." So, never gonna find that anywhere again, I'm sure.
Well, you might, but they would never give it up.
But they might let me down, is that what you mean? Run away and desert me?
We also got new e-cig toys, so.
We did. I got a new e-cig. Oh, and you know what Nick got, which is really kind of cool? You should tell him about your juice you got. Your hops juice.
Oh shit!
I'll
be right back.
He got juice for his e-cig that was actually steeped with beer hops. So it's beer hop juice. And it's really delicious. Like, I could see it being extremely... He's going to go get it right now because he just forgot about it until I said something. But it tastes like beer. I mean, it's like kind of got that flowery taste like hops have, but it tastes like beer, and it's really good. So I'll let him tell you who makes it and stuff if anybody's listening that would like to get some, because it is delicious.
All right. So my main complaint about e-smoke vaping is that once you're over the need to have something that tastes like tobacco, then you go on to like fruity or whatever, peppermint, stuff like that. That shit does not mix well with beer. So it drives me nuts when I'm vaping and drinking beer and it tastes like I got leftover, wild berries or whatever in my mouth. My brother pointed me to this stuff called Hop Harvest, and it's brewed with, this one's with Citra and Cascade, and they take Bitcoin, and it showed up in 2 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, how fucking perfect is that?
It was pretty cool. So it's probably the perfect beer vape. And while we were in Indiana, they have a couple of like really true vape shops there. Well, I guess we only really went to one, but it was like the nicest vape shop we'd ever been to. And I actually they let you try, like, they have the flavors and you put your own little tip in the thing and you can try all these different flavors and
You
stuff.
put your tip in.
Well, you just the tip. And anyway, so I actually got such a head rush from trying all of the different flavors that when we left, I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. Like, I haven't felt like that since I like smoked my first cigarette when I was like 15 or something. I was like, I don't feel so well.
I forgot to say that if anybody's watching and wants this hop juice, it's by Frontier Vapor. That is all. Continue.
I don't know. I was just telling a funny
And that's
story.
what Chris.
So, Chris, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, good question. Good question. Like I said earlier, you know, I got the delightful experience to finally try one of the beers that was on my bucket list for quite a while, which was the Gumball Head. I saw that on their menu. I was like, I gotta get that. I also saw the Alpha King and the Zombie Dust, and I was just like, Gumball Head. So I got that, and now I'm drinking New Belgium Ranger IPA, and I really don't have a huge variety. I'm still sitting on 24 packs of the Oktoberfest, plus I have my the one named after the lovely Miss Angela Keaton, the Anarchist Bitch IPA. So, and my Anarchist Bitch almost tastes like the Gumball Head. So,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
so, that's what I'm drinking. I'll be popping in and out of the beer throughout the episode, but you know, so not to get off point here, okay, but news kind of close to here about the whole thing that went down in the suburb outside of St. Louis.
What was that?
With the officer killing the unarmed teenager.
I hadn't heard about
That's
it.
some crazy shit. Apparently Nick's been under a rock, but
I've been busy.
he has been busy. I'll give him that. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. That shit's nuts. There's like a militarized city right now.
What made this this police murder more significant than all the other police murders? Like, what got people off the couch and had them start trashing coffee shops and stuff?
I don't agree with them trashing coffee shops and stuff. I understand the dismay, though. I don't know. What do you think made it different, Jim Bob?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like, you know, police are murdering people every day, but this one seems to have really just struck a nerve in the community. And of course, they don't know how to react. But I think we can all sympathize with their frustrations.
Yes.
You know, but unfortunately, they're just too clueless to know who to react against. They don't even get it, who their enemy is. So they're just lashing out randomly.
Well, I think this is actually like a suburb. I don't know what kind of suburb of St. Louis is.
From what I understand, it's a suburb that is predominantly African American. But we all know the history of African Americans and law enforcement, and this is something that's not been like the last 20, 30 years. You know, it's been in the last 100, 150 years. Okay, going all the way back to, you know, the old slavery time, and you know, I don't agree with the response. Okay, I sympathize with the people. Okay, but I don't agree with the response. Okay, you shouldn't go out and you shouldn't loot and trash, private businesses, because they have they didn't do anything wrong.
Maybe they're giving discounts to the cops.
But still, that doesn't justify the ends. Still don't justify the means.
No, it doesn't at all. But like, my question is was the cop who shot the kid white or black? Do we even know that? Because like, I tried to look for it and I couldn't figure out who the hell shot the cop.
I heard that they were.
They are not going to release. Of course, they're going to protect their own.
So I mean, like, y'all know how I feel about race, but it's just kind of like, so it's just like attack whitey. I mean, which isn't really the way to go about it at all, because, like you said, that's not, the shoe store down the road or the convenience store. They didn't kill your kid. I mean, if they're really going to go and attack somebody, they should be attacking the police department, or some other government, state, federal institution. However,
not that that's
warranted. No, I don't really think that that's warranted. What I think is that people don't know how to actually express their freedom, their right to protest. They don't know how to actually protest and actually get something done. And
they're so mad.
Yeah.
I think we can understand that feeling of just, I'm so mad I need to rip somebody's head off. And they're just, they're just too clueless to even know where to direct that rage at. I mean, it's just so sad.
Yeah, they don't know how to shift their anger. You can use your anger for positive things.
Right.
Instead of, negative things. And what disgusted me was that they even had people out on the street videotaping, these people coming in and out of a Family Dollar, looting. I go, you're just feeding fuel to the fire.
Right.
Okay? Because
it's not going to win you any allies. It's not going to create national sympathy for your cause.
Right. And these videos are out on the internet, and now the law enforcement has more tools to go punish more people. So they're like, oh well, we got a headshot of that person, we got a headshot of that person, we got a headshot of that person. Put them in, put their faces and whatnot in a database and say, yeah, if you know this person, this person, this person, this person, they're wanted for theft and damage to the private property and all that kind of stuff. So instead of holding steadfast and just retargeting.
Did he freeze? He froze.
Oh no! Fail.
Chris. God, why were we getting to the Rickroll beer?
All right, now be a good time for me to take it.
You guys are doing the dishes? What are you guys doing? Switching, cleaning your beer glasses?
Yes. Chris? Chris, where are you? Chris! Oh my gosh. He froze up. I'm suspecting we're
He'll be back.
Reload it or something. Well, I'll wait to pour the beer. I'll just drink some Buffalo Trace whiskey while I'm waiting.
I saw some of that Vikings blood for sale, but I didn't buy it.
Oh yeah?
I thought about it. It was like this, it was literally like the day after you had it on the show last week. I was in a store that had it. I'm like, oh, look at that. And they had like 4 different styles of meat from that same company.
Yep. Nick wants to know how much it was.
It was expensive. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't buy it. I was like looking at the bottle. I was like, that's a little pricey. for for the alcohol content.
I think it was like 20
$20 for a skull.
Something like that.
If they had that spicy one, I would have got it. The pepper, the one in the glass skull.
The pirate blood one.
Yeah, the pirate blood.
Wait, what did you? Viking blood? That's different?
It's the one with BLOD. It's got. Didn't you guys have? Didn't you have that on the show?
I don't think
so. It's a beer, right? No, yeah, we did have something like that. BLOD with like little dots above it or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it must have been good. Wow, I'm gonna go back and buy it.
Shit,
that one really doesn't ring a bell. I don't think I had pirate blood. What did you say? Viking blood or pirate blood?
Maybe Scott had it. Maybe Scott had it on the show last week.
Pirate blood was the one we shared with you at PorkFest.
Yeah, it wasn't that one.
Okay.
So maybe Scott was drinking it.
Like 2 weekends ago, we went to Springfield and hung out with Chris and Yvonne.
It was awesome.
And we went to this bar called the Craft Beer Bar. It was terrible.
It was so horrible. They only had an entire huge wall of. Oh my god! I haven't posted those pictures.
No.
Anyway, they had like these little chalkboards that hung on each other all the way like up the entire I don't know. The ceiling was probably 15 feet tall. So from like head height, I don't know, 7 feet to like 15 feet, there were just these little chalkboards hung, and they spanned 3/4 of the entire bar. How many beers they had? I don't even know how many that is, but it was ridiculous.
They probably had 150 beers.
At least.
But most of them were bottles, which is fine. They had about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 on tap. But it was awesome to just be able to go and make a 6-pack at the bar.
Oh, and also, we got completely wasted. And we were there, the bars closed there, I guess at 1 or something, and we were there to see a music festival. And so our friend's band played at 11. It was over about 12. I went and talked to him for a minute, bought a T-shirt, stuff, and then we went to leave. And that same bar that we went to, the craft beer bar, they had a package license so they could sell you beer. So we went back there. The bartender that was there originally was still there. And he was like, "Oh my God, you guys survived the night, because we were there at 4, and it's midnight now, and or a little after midnight. And we were like, "What time do y'all close?" And he was like 1, and so we had a beer there, and then we bought some Gosa to go. Is there not still one of those in there?
No, I drank all that.
You drank the Gosa?
Yeah, that's my new favorite kind of beer right now.
So we bought some Gosa to go back to the hotel room, and Nick drank some more. I did not drink any more. I did not need any more.
Are you guys talking about that the festival that we went to 2 weeks ago? What was I probably missed it, but what was the best beer that you had outside the craft beer bar? All right, that you had at the festival, if you remember what you had. Okay, what was the best beer you had there?
It was one of the home brews, and I can't remember which one. It wasn't the Neapolitan one. They had a different homebrew. I can't remember what it was.
They weren't allowed to sell homebrews there, so you got this thing where you could get 3 samples from each homebrewer, and that was it. It was wild. It was really, so the homebrewers aren't allowed to sell it, but you can sample it, and that was it. So since everybody got 3 samples, I was like, I want 2 of that one, please. I don't remember which one, but I was like, that's really good. And I'd like another.
I think the best one I had was the Flossmoor Station Panama Red. It was a red ale that was hopped up. I mean, viciously hopped up. It was almost like what is it? It just came out in the stores this week. The Sierra Nevada Flipside Red IPA.
Oh, that sounds good.
Whoa.
What was that? I'm sorry.
That sounds pretty good. I haven't had that.
That's
You haven't had. It's a good one. It's a good IPA. I usually get like a couple of cases of that every time it comes out. So yeah, that the Sierra Nevada, but the Flossmoor station's supposed to come down our way in September because my buddy works for the distributor. Oh, I'm gonna give him a shout out. My friend Tim Swetska, he's the sales guy for Wolf Distributing. Also, I want to give a shout out to my boss, Nick from Fritz Distributing. He knows this stuff pretty well, even though he thinks I'm crazy for being a craft beer enthusiast, but that's okay.
I'm about to have some Astley in my glass.
She's gonna get rolled. Rolled.
That does not look like a Kolsch.
I think you're right, Jim Bab. Getting rickrolled.
It could be a black Kolsch. I don't know what makes a beer a Kolsch besides like a certain place in Germany.
Neither do I, but all the Kolsches I've ever had have been almost clear.
And so this is like, you can't see through it. I bet it tastes like Astley. It's not terrible. It's only sour.
That's a wild.
Does it have roses in it? What is it?
Fuck if I know, man.
Well, I
I
understand
think
this.
you got rolled.
No, it's a wild. It's definitely wild. It's so fizzy. You can taste that, and it's got that
Almost sour taste.
lactobacillus.
Does that mean beer is like a probiotic for my gut?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, let's just say yes. Yeah, beer's a probiotic. Why not?
So maybe it is it kind of tastes like a sour Kolsch, bordering on a weak Gosa. And I think this darkness has come from the red cypress.
Yeah, it was Asian red cypress. You know, I mean, like in Georgia we have cypress swamps, and I don't know if do y'all even know what cypress swamps are? Anyone?
No.
Okay.
I think so. Kind of like, is it like Louisiana style with the hanging moss and whatever?
Yeah, Louisiana has cypress too, so it's like a southern thing. So cypress grows in water. They actually grow knees, and so the trees grow in water, and they grow these knees, and they come up above the water, and the knees actually help the roots get oxygen because the roots are below the water. But so all cypress swamps have this super dark water. Like when you look at it, it looks black. But if you get in it, it's fucking clear. You know, like you can, like if you get in it, you're like, it's not blue like the beach. But if you get in it, you're like, oh, I can see my hands and, you know, whatever. That's if you're not afraid of the gators. Like cypress releases this tannin that's super, super dark. So I guess Nick's probably right in that the cypress has probably lended its tannins to this beer. That's my guess. Because it is black like cypress water. I wonder if I stick my finger in if I'll be able to... Yeah, I can see my finger.
I pulled it up on Rate Beer, and I'm just reading some of the descriptions of that beer on Rate Beer.
What do they say?
And one person says, pours dark brown with an off-white head. The aroma has sourness, cocoa, light fruit, and a bit of plastic.
There's another review on there where it's like, I don't know what they were thinking. It's like they just took some mediocre Kolsch and threw it in some barrels hoping something good would happen, and it didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It is not the worst
Not
beer I've had.
Right. And this person says pale gold, not even vaguely funky. Yeah. They took some weak, mediocre Kolsch and then dumped it in a barrel and hoped something cool would happen. Nope. Also, pretty sure the description has absolutely nothing to do with the actual final product. Yep.
Rickrolled.
even in beer, you get Rick
I
rolled.
think so.
That's incredible.
I'm not disappointed. It's like $7 for it.
It's really not terrible though. Like, and I don't get the hint of plastic.
Not me either.
So it's definitely doesn't taste like plastic. You know, I mean, it's not like you melted the spoon on the stove or something. So it's good.
I wouldn't buy it again, but I'm not disappointed.
But I'm totally saving the funked up bottle.
Against the Grain Brewery. You got to listen. You got to give them points just for saying, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing Rick Astley beer. You know, I mean, somebody said, must have said, hey, let's do a Rick Astley one, and they're like, no, we can't do that. Oh yeah, we can. They're like, no, we can't do that. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it, and they did it.
You know what? What probably happened is they completely fucked up a whole batch of beer, and they were like, "We're just gonna call this a Rick Astley joint." We have no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah, we don't know what else to call it, so fuck it.
They could have called it One Hit Wonder.
Maybe somebody was like, "We should do a collaboration brew with Will Wheaton," and then somebody else was like, "Wait a minute, Stone already does that. They do Woot Stout," and they're like, "Oh damn. Well, who else can we get? Rick Astley?"
This is interesting. This beer, Against the Grain, did some collaborations with De Molen, which is a pretty famous brewery, I think, in Amsterdam.
That's why I'm thinking this is serious.
So it's like a Kentucky to Netherlands cross.
That's awesome. I had when we were at that craft brew place.
I think it's a.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it's a pretty serious brewery. I mean, I'm looking at some of these things they have on here, like wow, man, they've really got some. I don't know how many of these are current, but these guys are putting out some pretty creative stuff. I'm just looking at this whole massive list from Against the Grain. Interesting.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe I'm right. Maybe it was like a completely funked up beer, and they were just like, let's just put Rick Astley's name on it, and then people will buy it because I don't know what the fuck to call this thing. It's like, I'm never gonna give you up.
They have a beer. They have a beer called Morningwood.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Oh my god.
I want to try that again and again and again every morning for the rest of my life.
Only on Saturdays and Sundays.
Fuck you.
They also have one called the Great Big Kentucky Sausage Fest.
Whoa.
You guys. I'm here with a bunch of guys.
Love it.
How's Christina?
Love it.
Anyway.
I think she's ready to go home.
These guys are the ones that make that Citra ass down.
Like, I've been making her do all this hiking and sleep in a cot. She's ready. She's ready for anyway.
Well, when
some hotel stay before we go home, or we've got like 5 days in some hotels, so she can live it up with an actual hot shower, indoors and stuff.
So when do you go home?
think the 20th.
And the kids haven't
20th. So
like they go to a private school, right? So
yeah,
the school hasn't started yet?
hasn't started yet.
So the 20th is a Wednesday.
Is it?
My autistic husband over here.
Definitely Wednesday.
I will say I will probably not be making that show. I'm just guessing due to being in transit. Every time I've tried doing it from my cellular connection, it fails.
So
Plus, if you're driving and drinking, is probably not the best things for the kids in the back seat.
Christina can drive.
Oh, Christina could. Yes.
Oh, they don't care.
You know, you can. There's some states where you can actually do that, where there's no open container laws, and like Missouri's one. I know that one time I went on vacation with my family to Missouri, and as soon as we crossed the state line, they pulled over to get gas, and this was before I knew all about good beer. And I went and I bought a 12-pack of Rolling Rock and sat in the back of the car and just drank it while my dad drove just the rest of the way.
You know what? I can't be expected to know what every little stupid state's little petty tyrant laws are regarding alcohol. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not a lawyer. I don't consult Wikipedia before I enter each state. I'm just, try to be reasonably discreet and I don't worry about it.
Well, as long as you don't go to New Jersey.
Drink out of a can or a red cup.
Or Massachusetts.
You know what? If the cops,
as long as you don't go to New Jersey with a gun,
we can actually.
Then you're fine. Like that lady with the concealed carry from.
If you don't go to Jersey, period, your life's good.
They don't let you pump.
Yeah, that lady, Shanine Allen, I think is the one you're talking about.
That's sad as shit, man.
You're breaking up on me.
I just said it was sad that lady is having that issue.
I would just.
I'm going to her trial.
Are you really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to do jury nullification pamphleting. We got a whole operation going.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Got a big jury nullification operation out there.
Personally, if I was that lady, I just wouldn't go.
I don't know what else to do for the poor lady.
Yeah.
It's
she didn't ask to be the center of a controversy. She was just trying to mind her own business. She doesn't want to be a poster child for gun rights or jury nullification. This isn't like N.J. Weedman's trial. It's like it seems like just a regular lady just tried to mind her own business and has end up in the heart of this hurricane. But she's got a huge amount of support, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. At least she's going to court and didn't settle for okay, I'll go to jail for 3.5 years.
It's that.
Sorry. That was the deal offered her, 3.5 years in jail.
If they would have offered her 3 years, she would have taken it.
You know what? And
I'm just glad she's fighting, and these people look.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm glad she's fighting it. You know how rare that is. I mean, that's like a 1 or 2% case right there. But this is really going to backfire on those stupid persecutors. I mean, it's getting so much attention. I don't know why they're being such hard asses about it. They're giving other people, these lenient, probation things for violent crimes. You put your wife to an inch of her life. Well, here's a special program for you so you don't have to go to jail. But meanwhile, here's a single mom, minding her own business, and you want to put her in jail for 3.5 years. What the fuck?
Yeah, child molesters get less time.
I don't know what it. I mean, they're just. I mean, they're really afraid of citizens being armed. They're really just, man, it's like a full court press to do whatever they can to discourage people from being armed. That's the only thing I can think of. Is like, we're going to send a message that it's not worth it to carry a gun. You'll end up in jail like this lady. Don't even try to protect yourself. It's going to backfire. You'll go to jail, you know.
Carla posted
Sick.
something earlier that was
Fuck,
like,
I don't like.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was going to say I don't like to generalize or collectivize, but fuck New Jersey. Fuck you.
Yes, fuck New Jersey. I agree.
And Annie's not here to defend it.
Carla posted something earlier, which has like always kind of been a thought of mine, and I don't know if it was a quote from a book or something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she talked about. She said, you know, so were you raised as a child to be scared of the kitchen? Did your parents tell you don't touch the knives? You know, the stove is hot, bloodied out, or were you raised as the kind of kid that was like the kitchen is a place to learn skills, and so your mom taught you to cook, and she taught you how to learn to use the knives, and she taught you how to do all of these things, and so I'm gonna just stop right there. That's where her quote goes on, but I'm gonna stop right there and say that like one time I saw a National Geographic episode where they had this you know, these indigenous tribes in South America, and they had this 4-year-old child who was using a machete to hack open coconuts to feed his family, you know, to feed people in the tribe. And that was his job, and he was like hacking open coconuts with a machete, a 4-year-old. And you know, like who the hell gives their 4-year-old a machete? Like in our culture, you know, you think, oh my God, but this kid was like totally great with it. He's like hacking off, you know, coconuts, and he's like feeding people in his tribe, and so he learned a skill at a really young age. And so Carla's quote goes on to talk about how, you know, those of us that are raised to be scared of kitchens maybe never grow up to learn how to cook because we're so terrified of everything in the kitchen. It might burn you, it might cut you, it might scald you, like all of these other things. And so maybe you never even learned those skills. And she was talking about gun rights, and she said, and so is the same for guns. She said people who have never used guns, who have never been trained to use guns, the skills that go along with guns, are afraid of guns. And so I'm actually one of those people. My mother was terrified of guns. She never learned how to use guns. She never was trained around them. My dad really didn't have a voice on the subject because my mom's was really much stronger in the conversation. My dad knew how to use guns. But he was a golf pro, okay? So, like, he's not really, like, you know, for guns. But as I got to learn to use guns and to learn safety and all of that stuff, it was just like a skill like in the kitchen. So she was comparing, you know, gun skills to kitchen skills. It's like the same thing. And I was really, like, impressed with that whole analogy because I thought, you know, it is kind of the same thing. Like, some people may never grow up to, like, use a big chef's knife because they were never taught how to hold it properly and how to use it properly. And that's the same thing for guns. So I think that most people who are afraid of guns just don't know how to use them properly, or like our government are seeking control over people to not know, to be fearful of them, so they never learn how to use them and they never understand them and are like that they develop that skill to use them.
Right. I think it's the second group exploits the first group to achieve their end.
Right.
You know, be scared. Be scared. You know, did you see that? There's a meme going around. It was from like Being Liberal or something like that, and it says, if you're in a restaurant and you see somebody open carrying, just walk out without paying your bill. Did you see that one? And they're
what
like,
the
yeah,
hell?
if you see somebody, yeah, they're like, if you're scared, just dine and dash, and then they'll get the message, you know? And like, the whole idea is so ridiculous. But on one hand, you know what? That's maybe what they should do. You know what? If they're so scared, instead of complaining to the manager or calling 911, they should just leave, okay? But it's still theft of restaurant services.
What the hell?
And then I hope they get arrested by a cop with a gun on their way, you know, on their way to their car.
Right, exactly.
But that's the liberal thinking. They're like, you know what? You don't have to stay. It's not worth it. You don't have to risk your life to stay in that restaurant because it's just so dangerous to be in there with somebody who's open carrying.
Yeah, because open carry people shoot shit up all the time.
Yeah.
Never.
So Illinois is one of the latest states, probably maybe even the latest state, to have a concealed carry program, whatever you want to call it. And since it started happening earlier this summer, I've noticed that everywhere I go, they've posted no gun signs. So they're on the door at my work, they're at the Subway, the Target, the whatever. Everywhere you go, every place says you can't carry a gun. And a couple weeks ago, we were downtown at the farmers market, and I noticed that the public transit bus systems that are ran by the government have no weapons signs, like the gun with a circle with a line through it, on the bus. I don't see how that's even legal. I mean,
They just try it, and you know, if nobody says anything, they get away with it.
yeah.
You know. But it's just everyday people seeing those signs reinforces their fear.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yes.
you know, a lot of people are scared of people with no shirts and shoes.
You know, in the history of man, probably people with no shirts and shoes have killed more people than those open carrying.
There's a lot of people in my family that are gun advocates, and my grandmother and my great-grandmother and my granny now and my aunts and a couple of my uncles, they all carry guns, and it's all because they were trained in them. My mom, however, the sister of a couple of these people I'm talking about, you know, wasn't around for that period of those people's lives, and so, like, she never learned that, but I was really happy. One time I took like a 6-hour trip with my mom, and before I came here to be with Nick, right before I came here to be with Nick, and she said that she knew a guy who had been an FBI agent, and that he quit his job and bought a farm in Georgia and was growing food and canning it, and had and also a bunker in which he stored the food in, and an underground bunker. And that they had dinner with him one night, and he said, our world is turning to shit. And if people can't defend themselves against the government and can't grow their own food and provide for themselves, there is going to be a day when life as you know it is going to end, and we're no longer going to be able to live in this world that we're in. And whatever the conversation this man had with my mom, because he had been a government agent, she actually changed her entire stance on gun ownership. And I was really happy to hear that, whether, like, you know, I didn't care where it came from, you know, because I love my family, and I'm not going to not love them because they don't have the same ideals as them. I love my family. But I was happy to hear that my mother had changed her stance on this, because it enabled me to be able to talk freely about things that I had not been in the past, or I had just, like, held my tongue or whatever. And so, I mean, I think even people like my mom, who I'm just saying there's hope. I guess that's what I mean, is there's fucking hope for everybody. It's on some level. So, like, my mom has never fired a gun, but she now believes that people have the right to hold arms because, you know, we need the right to defend ourselves against a tyranny, whatever the hell. I'm a little buzzed.
And on a side note of that, when we were in Indiana for my uncle to have heart surgery, were you in the room when he was telling us about carrying a gun into the hospital?
No.
Oh, God.
Maybe. I don't know.
So, my uncle doesn't go anywhere without at least 2 guns. So that includes Illinois or Chicago or wherever. I mean, allegedly. So he was saying that he was coming in with, he had chest pains, and he was coming in for a heart attack, and he had a gun on him, and there was a sheriff there, and he's like, it's funny. I'm not going to incriminate him. But
I think I like your uncle from what I've heard.
He's in the ICU, and he's like, there's a couple of guns in the drawer.
I saw that.
Well, I hope he makes a full recovery.
Yeah, he's home and he's walking, and he's a zillion times better than he was.
They put like 4 stents in his heart, and so like right before he went into surgery, I was looking at like the heart monitor, and so like the little thing that goes beep 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 or whatever, and there was like this huge gap between some beeps, so it was like beep beep, and then there'd be like this gap, and then it was like beep beep, and there'd be this gap, and it was a pretty regular freaking gap that scared the shit out of me, And then when he came out of surgery and we went to say bye to him, and I kissed him on the forehead and stuff, his heart was doing the beep 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 thing. So apparently he's doing like a whole lot better, and he can breathe better, and he can walk better, and he's like overall really improved. And we really thought honestly that we were going there for a funeral. Like we brought funeral clothes. We did.
Oh.
So I mean, it's like awesome that we didn't have to go to a funeral.
Well, and I'd like to think that if my family was visiting me for a medical emergency, that they would take the time to explore the local breweries and find some kick-ass beer.
I did
while they were in the area. I think that's great. I'd hate to see people like come out, just thinking they're going to my funeral and like, well, what are we going to do? We'll kill time. We'll sit around the hospital. Bullshit. There's great breweries everywhere. Go out and find them. So, good call.
We did.
I bet you he appreciated that, too. Did you tell him about the beers you found while you were waiting for him to freaking shape up and get the hell out of there?
I don't
No,
think
we didn't get a chance to tell him that. But when he came to our wedding in May, he brought us a bunch of George Dickel Special Reserve Single Barrel whiskey.
It was awesome.
And we all drank that.
Even my dad, who doesn't drink a lot, he actually came out onto the porch and he took they were all in like the little mini bottles. And my dad actually did a mini bottle shot with the rest of us. It was freaking awesome. It was like, I was like, yeah, my dad's out here. That's killer. So, yeah, it was good. This is what we're drinking now.
I just poured this Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Southern Tier.
From Southern Tier. Now, how do you like the Pumpkin?
It's pretty good. It's kind of sweet. It's definitely pumpkin-y. I like it. I give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Doesn't like it.
Oh, look at that face.
I
Isn't it like somebody dropped pie in your beer?
Yes. and like also
Somebody put.
I like pumpkin seeds, but I've never been a huge fan of.
It's good.
Pumpkin.
I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was on sale for $6.
Okay, you know
so
what? You get to drink mine too.
Oh, great.
Oh, great! Like he's really disappointed. I'm just gonna go back to my Buffalo Trace whiskey. This is also the other thing we have in the house that I bought yesterday. Buffalo. Yeah, see, it's almost gone. Buffalo Trace. Whatever. I like whiskey. I'm a whiskey girl. Is that bad?
Evidently not.
And we've lost Chris again. Where the hell did he go?
Time for a pee break. Chris is gone.
I don't know.
That's gotta be terrible. The whole time. You can't like. Wait, do you have a bottle that you pee in?
No.
You just open the door and he out the door. What?
No, I have an elaborate catheter system that I've set up that works great.
You have an astronaut diaper? I've always wanted one of those. I mean, I'm just curious. Like, I was literally like walking around the house all day and nothing but an astronaut diaper just to like see what it was like to piss and shit myself like all day. Like what is it? It's like an 8-hour diaper, right? I mean, I'm like thinking like, what happens in 8 hours? Let's see.
I hate to tell you, but we all end up in that experiment eventually. So, just, there's no need to rush into it because we'll all get there.
Okay. Point well taken. I will not rush back into diapers. How about that? Hey, speaking of diapers, there was an article I read today that said that Vietnamese and Chinese people teach their kids that they learn their cues when they have to pee and poop, and they connect a whistling noise to it, like or something to it. And so then they can actually take their kid's diaper off and hold them over a toilet or some other whatever the hell they have in Vietnam and China, a hole in the ground, and the kids will pee and poop on command. And that Vietnamese children are typically, the average is they are potty trained by 9 months old. Have you ever heard such crazy shit? Like, I'm like thinking,
Awesome.
I'm totally doing this. I'm doing this shit. Watch this shit. It's gonna happen. If I have a kid, they're gonna be, yes, the average.
Why didn't somebody tell me that before I had kids?
I don't know. But like, so I'm totally trying that shit because like.
That sounds like a myth. Sounds like a myth to me.
It was.
Might be true.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I still have the link pulled up, and I hope that I do. Okay. I'm going to post it over here, all right? And you should look this up.
Sometime.
So it was NPR, or it talks about other things too, which I thought were really neat. It talked about how, like, people in Denmark, they park their kids outside when they go grocery shopping or to, like, eat in cafes. They just, like, bundle them up and park them outside. And that a woman was arrested when she moved to the States and parked her kid outside of a cafe while she went in to eat, and she was arrested for child neglect.
That's mean. Well, seals do the same thing. They park their baby seal on the beach and they go out and hunt for fish.
Right.
And sometimes like tourists will find like, oh, it's an abandoned baby seal, and they freak out. But no, that's normal behavior. For mammals, you leave your baby on the side and then you go, for food or wine or whatever.
So those people that find these, oh god damn it! Hey, it's the Nick and Ruby show.
Woo! Jim Bab, go.
Drop it like a rock.
Well, I'm going to check my Facebook since nothing's happening here. So apparently we're still live, and I'm going to check my Facebook because I have 13 notifications, and I'm wondering, what could all these notifications be?
Somebody's back.
Oh! Hello!
Welcome back, Mr. Bab.
What happened?
Apparently Crystal isn't back.
You know what? Maine sucks for... Maine has got the crappiest internet.
That's fine.
I could live in Maine if it had a proper internet. Fucking sucks. I don't know what it is, but I think everybody's on some kind of frickin' DSL or some shit like that. Like, literally, it's like the campground I'm staying in, the whole campground is sharing one crappy DSL connection. If 3 people check Facebook simultaneously, it grinds to a halt. Like, that's the extent of the bandwidth.
Is it free, or do you have to pay?
It's included with our campground fee.
Okay.
Hey, Jim Bab, did you see the burn I did to my finger?
I think you showed us the blister last week. How is it healed up?
Oh no. Well, it popped.
Oh.
but I wouldn't call that healed.
She's got a 3rd-degree burn in there.
Yeah, I do. Did you see
Ow.
that?
It looks like
That
Ernie
sucks.
Hancock.
Yeah, it does. My finger is never going to be the same. Like, I'm pretty sure I have no fingerprints left there. Not that
Nice.
anybody's fingerprints that knuckle, but, like, it definitely went down to the muscle tissue layer in a couple of places. And
Ow.
I accidentally popped my blister coming home. We came home Friday morning from Indiana, and I accidentally popped it. Like, it got ripped open by a bag I was carrying. I probably shouldn't have been doing that. But I had to, you know, according to the directions of a burn, you cut the blister off of it because so the skin doesn't, like, infect the rest of your skin because it's dead, you know, the blister top. And so, like, that's what's left. I normally cover it up, but I'm experiencing muscle atrophy in my finger. Like, this joint hurts so bad from being, like, bandaged up. So that's why it's open right now. And it's not, like, oozy or anything, but it's definitely, like, not healed for a long time, probably. It sucks.
I forget how you burned it. It was a
was,
cooking mishap. You were drinking and cooking again.
oh my God, every night. While some of that is partly true.
There's bound to be casualties. Okay.
Yeah, I had just washed my hands from, like, doing some other part of cooking, so my hands were still wet, and I looked over and my cabbage and onions were, like, you know, needing to be flipped, and so like, you know, my stove is to the left of my sink, and so I was like, well, shit, I just need to grab the pan, so my hands were, like, completely wet, like I hadn't even dried them off, and I grabbed the pan, and I went to shake it, you know, like you do, like you flip it around, you know? And when I flipped it around, like, my hand slipped off the silicone gripper onto the handle that was metal, the fry pan handle. And you know, and there I am standing over the kitchen floor with my dinner in my hand, thinking, oh shit, I gotta put this down. And so instead of just, like, dropping the pan, I actually, like, placed it back on the stove, and that's what happened.
All right, and I know this advice is coming a little bit late, but I have some advice for you.
Okay.
Okay. If you're gonna drink and cook, okay, skip the acrobatics. Okay. If you want to flip something in your pan, use a spatula. Okay. It's not as exciting. It might take a little longer. Okay, but the food will get cooked. You'll eat it, and no one will get hurt. Okay. If you want to do the fancy flipping around shit, okay, you can't be drinking, okay? That's just my advice. Take it or leave it.
Lesson learned. Will not happen again, I promise.
So, on a side note, I don't know if anybody heard that Alex Jones is now accepting Bitcoin, and you can buy all of your InfoWars wares with Bitcoin starting today, and also Bitcoin dropped $50.
Damn you, Alex! Well, what kind of InfoWars stuff do people buy? I thought you get all that shit for free, and he just sells, like, water filters and shit.
Yeah, he does sell Walden. I don't know, dude. I have to admit that I listened to him 5 years ago. And back then you could buy, like, 10 packs of his DVDs and T-shirts that he'd ripped off of other people. Other than that, he's got nothing to sell. You could buy, like, a premium membership to watch him scream at the camera every day for 2 or 3 hours.
Hey, you know what? When you need a good over-the-top rant, he's the go-to guy. Okay, there's no denying it. When you want to hear him go off on somebody like the Queen, or or some bankers, like he's the guy. Like, I just love an over-the-top rant. But as anybody.
Yeah, that's his saving grace, but thank God I can't stand that shit anymore. One of the funny things is when he announced that he was going to accept Bitcoin, he also announced that he would accept it over the phone. So, if you want to call the InfoWars shop phone number and buy your copy of Lizard Jews Anonymous DVD or whatever, and have the poor phone answerer read to you a Bitcoin send address, it's like 1, capital L, lowercase n, 9, 8, capital M, lowercase k. How is that even going to work? Take Bitcoin over the phone.
To that thing you said. So I was expecting you to be like 157 capital Z 19 lowercase n 5710.
Hey, wait.
12.
Stop. Those are the first bits of Satoshi.
Holy shit. I'm psychic.
No,
or something.
no. You see, the thing, remember, it's over the phone, so you have to say like, A is in Alpha, B is in Bravo,
No.
C is in, you know, and like you have to say, you know how I hate it when like certain businesses will read back every letter to you.
Right.
I'm so sorry. Do you mind moving because he has to jump me on my battery?
Oh, sure, no
Thank
problem.
you.
I have to move the car to make room for somebody's jump start.
Oh, that's a valid reason. They're like, at least it wasn't a cop.
It's a lovely young woman. I would have given her a jump start. Anyway, yeah, couldn't she tell I was in the middle of an important podcast? And, you know, you can really pull up on either side of a car to give it a jump start, so. Anyway, did we lose Chris again?
Well, he turned into a purple-blue person, and I know he's not blue.
Blurple. I can't believe he has such a bad internet connection.
I know, what the fuck? He lives in the capital of the state of Illinois.
The Lincoln capital. They have like Lincoln things everywhere. We went to Springfield for that festival we talked about. We met him and Yvonne there. And it was like Lincoln, 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 Lincoln House, Lincoln Museum, Lincoln Town.
Lincoln Projects.
You know what? And you know, and he doesn't even have the courtesy to go down to the local laundromat that has a decent internet connection.
The Lincoln Laundromat.
Lincoln Laundromat.
Laundromat.
Speaking of, in fact, next, you know, in a couple of days, I'm going to Lincoln, New Hampshire. So that damn Lincoln, he's got his name on everything.
What a
Lincoln.
tyrant.
Yeah. He wasn't all people want him to be, is he?
At least somebody shot him, you know, like, you know, there is some justice in the world.
He is everything you wanted if you are an Illinois school teacher. Because I went to school here, and I was brought up to the law of Lincoln. And Lincoln is infallible, and you cannot judge anything he says, and everything he did was awesome, and he ruined he saved the slaves, and, you know, fixed the Union, and it's totally based on just the fact that this is Illinois.
Why not? You know, every religion needs its saints, you know, and to speak ill of the saints is blasphemy in any religion. So get with it. Chris is back.
Yes, Chris is back. Hey, you want to know something that happened to me tonight that none of you guys are going to give one shit about at all?
Not really.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So, I have this lipstick that I took from my grandma's house. My grandma always had the best makeup, and her colors always looked really good on me, like her lipstick colors. So when she died, I took this lipstick from her bathroom because it looked really good on me. And I forever tried to get the color somewhere else, but I can't afford $35 for a tube of lipstick from Estee Lauder or some shit, like whatever it was. It was like $35. I was like, yeah, I'm not paying $35 for lipstick. And but my point in all of this is like the lipstick has perfume in it. So I can't really even wear it because it disgusts me. Because everything I stick in my mouth tastes like the lipstick perfume. So, you know, I know you guys care a whole lot, but
Nope.
like, you know, fuck you. So like, you know, you can't drink beer with perfume lipstick on. I'm just saying, like, it's disgusting. You can't eat food with perfume lipstick. Who the hell would put perfume in lipstick? That's all I want to say. I'm thinking it's a man.
Well, the next time you steal somebody's lipstick, you should be more selective.
What the hell? It was her lipstick. She's dead. It's not like I could, like, pick and choose. Whatever. Yeah, but perfume and lipstick? It's not a... I don't think a woman would do that. Why would a woman do that? It's terrible. It tastes awful.
It's terrible.
It's
Hey guys, I got to give you a heads up. My iPad battery is about to die. Even though I have it plugged in, it uses more power doing this video than it can charge. That's frickin' Apple for you. You know, even when it's plugged in, it goes dead. So I'm gonna be when I drop out mysteriously, you'll know where I went.
Okay.
It's close to bedtime anyhow.
Yeah, I think so as well. Hey, Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you have DSL or cable or what?
I have what is that? It's the AT&T
Uverse?
Uverse. Yes.
Oh, it's terrible.
We were just
Oh,
thinking that you might want
I-
to do the show from your local laundromat next time.
Well, the problem is that I've been having the last couple of episodes. I've been having problem with Google because Google's been cutting us off short or something. So I'm actually surprised that the podcast is still live right now. So I'm counting my blessings, I guess.
So,
But I wanted
Hey,
to
it's
finish.
working.
I wanted to finish the night off, and I saw Nick open something earlier. I wanted to finish off the night with a toast to Miss Angela Keaton, the anarchist bitch IPA. You know.
Woo.
so I just saw.
Cheers. Cheers to the anarchist bitch.
She's awesome.
Apparently, Anonymous has an insider in the St. Louis Police Department, and they are going to release the name of the murderer in the morning.
Ooh. Interesting.
Ooh.
Good. Finally, I hope they get it right.
It's in the Cop Block contributor page.
Oh, interesting. I'm really interested to see what happens, you know. I mean, like, what's his name? Carlos, who from Miami?
Oh, yeah, photography is not a crime.
Pinnack.
Yeah.
Carlos
He-
Miller.
Carlos Miller, that's it. And there goes Jim Bev. Oh, there you are. Okay. So, he posted something tonight that was like a guy goes to his son's, his son who was autistic gets pulled over by the cops, and he goes to his son's, to the site of his son being pulled over, and he's trying to tell the cops that his son is autistic. And so there's like this whole record of the cops saying that he resisted arrest and all this other kind of shit. And really what they did was they reached in the car and they pulled him out of the car and they tased him in the fucking spine. They tased him in the front with like the shooter tasers, and they tased him in the spine like 4 times with like a hand taser. And all of that shit is on video by somebody else entirely. And the cops tried to say it was one thing, and you know, and he's like, "This is what fucking happened to me," and it's fucking insane. Like I was like, "Holy shit," you know, like I think, you know, cops just think they fucking rule the world, and it's fucked up because it's just fucked up. And like I don't, you know, I was raised that like cops are your friend. If you're in trouble, go to a cop. And now I'm like so like if I have kids, they're just like don't trust the cops. Don't go to the cops. You know, go to a woman with kids. Go to a man with kids. Like do not go to the cops for anything. Do not call the cops. Like it's
ask my kids about cops next time you see them. Yeah. Ask my kids about the cops next time you see them.
And what will they say? Fuck the cops.
Well, let's just say I've thoroughly indoctrinated them. Okay.
Do you show them videos and stuff? Like, what do you do to prove to them that cops aren't friends?
Well, you know, I think maybe Dorothy has seen a couple videos. I don't really like to show them that kind of graphic violence, you know. But mainly we just make jokes about them. You know, or like, oh look, there's one lurking now. You know, and Dorothy would be like, that's okay. You know, it's just a park ranger. It's not Fish and Wildlife Service. We're safe. You know, like.
That's awesome.
When I was a teenager driving around town, anytime one of us would spot a cop, we wouldn't say, watch out, cops, or look out, there's a pig. We would just oink. And then I realized that when I wasn't hanging out with those same exact people anymore, and I was driving anywhere with somebody and I'd make a pig noise, they had no idea what was going on.
Just became a reflex. But yeah, that's the way we usually are. Like, hey, be cool, it's the cops. Everybody, be cool. You know, whoa. And they're like, where? And even Violet's like, where's the cop? Where? Where's the cop? They're ready. They understand, you know.
I told you about my dog puking on the window, right? That was like the best cop story ever, probably for me anyway.
Wait, say that again?
I was with my ex, and we were driving my mom, and we had a little bit of weed in the car, and I was really scared that we were going to get pulled over. We got pulled over. He was speeding, but not like by much, like 2 miles over. And we got pulled over on this back road in the middle of Georgia, in the middle of nowhere. And the cop came up to the window, and he asked for his ID, and my ex hands him his ID, and my dog was like in the passenger side of the, you know, the window behind my ex, and my little dog, she weighed like 12 pounds, and so she stood up at the window, and she's like standing there, and she's like, and then she like projectile vomited all over the window. And the cop went back to his car, and he wrote a ticket, and he handed it to my ex, and he was like, be on your way. Like, it was the fastest ticket I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was just like, you were speeding 2 miles over the speed limit. Like, please get on your way. He was like, but the cop was all like, ah! Like, the dog, like, threw up. Like, it just like, went all over the window. It was awesome. And I was like, yay, dog. Thank you, dog. Because I've got my mom in the car, and I'm thinking, the last thing I want to do right now is to go to jail for weed.
That's always a bit of an embarrassment, yeah, when that happens with your mom.
Yeah.
I kind of noticed while I was going through the before I got on that Mr. Jeffrey Tucker liked. Oh, we must be doing something right if Mr. Jeffrey Tucker, super economics himself, okay, is liking the show. So
yeah, we need to have him on.
He would be awesome. Like, he could do whiskey. He likes
he'd
whiskey.
do bourbon.
Bourbon. Well, bourbon is whiskey.
yeah.
Yeah. Like.
So Jeffrey, I know we're both Facebook friends and Google Plus friends. You know, if you want to be on the show, you know, give me a shout out.
And we'll all drink bourbon in his honor. How about that?
Yeah, I got
and wear bow ties.
And wear bow ties.
I got
some bow ties too.
I will wear a bow tie and a flower.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nick,
That would be huge. That would be huge.
Can you see a bow tie?
So like I said, if like I told Nick and Ruby at the beginning of the show, James, if you know anybody, Annie and Garrett won't be on the show for a while because of Garrett's work schedule or whatever. So if you know anybody that would like to you'd like to have on, let me know. I'll send them on.
Well,
And
where's
stuff,
Scott
so.
tonight? I thought Scott got promoted to beer and bullshit expert panelist.
I sent an invite to him. Obviously, he's not on, so you know,
All right.
it is what it is.
We
All
should
right.
get.
Well, I'll send you a list of recommendations.
Okay.
We need Jeff Tucker. He'd totally do it. We can get him.
We can totally get Jeff Tucker.
Yeah. Hey, Jeffrey, this your boy here, all right? This your boy, all right? Yeah. Look me up. You know, I'll hook you up on the show. You know, we'll talk about anything. We'll talk about bourbon. We'll talk about economics. We'll talk about, you know, whatever you want to talk about. You know, this is a decentralized kind of show. You know, so
And, you know,
whatever
and
you want to talk
he's
about, we'll
brilliant.
talk about it.
Yeah, and he's brilliant and capable
He is
of
brilliant. He
of
is brilliant.
conversation on a huge range
And I
of
think-
topics. You know, so
And I think he'd be perfect. I think he'd fit in with the bullshit. I'm serious.
I think he would too. Like I liked him. Like when we went to
oh,
Libertopia.
of course he.
Yeah, well, we went to Libertopia last year, and we were sitting with Butler Schaefer, and Jeffrey. Like we had dinner with Butler Schaefer like 3 nights. I think it was really awesome. Butler Schaefer's really cool. And then one night Jeffrey Tucker decided to come with us, and it was really fun. And I think we all really enjoyed each other's company. So I think he would be an awesome guest for the show.
All right.
It's a mission. We need to get him.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make that happen.
Let's all bombard
Hey,
him
James.
on the beer and bullshit
Hey,
show.
James. Hey, James. Before you go, or we all go, I saw the Ken Kruchak will not be on the ballot in Pennsylvania this year.
That is correct. And you know what? I think it's a sign of maturity of the libertarians in Pennsylvania. The fact that it's a record low number of candidates on the ballot, despite one of the lowest signature requirements ever. And you know, basically everybody feels like, why should we bother with this bullshit? So, although the libertarian movement is strong, everybody's like, really? Collecting signatures? Fuck that shit. Everybody's on to better things. That's my
Well,
perspective.
I know here in Illinois, okay, that they are aggressively trying to kick the Illinois libertarians off the ballot very aggressively, and I think they're down to like 6,000 that they could potentially kick off, but they're trying to extend the challenge period so long that by the end of the month they have to have the ballots approved, okay? So because we have this thing called early voting, all right? So they're trying to extend it so long that, you know, if they get it past the 31st of August, well, technically it would be the 29th, okay? Because the 30th is a Saturday and the 31st is on a Sunday. They have until the 29th, the day before my birthday, to get on the ballot to find out who's going to be on the ballot. And if they extend it even longer than that, then, you know, voila, that they're kicked off the ballot by committee, basically. So they're coming up with new rules, and they're throwing more money into, you know, I don't trust the whole voting thing or whatever, But if the Republicans here are so scared, okay, why don't they run on issues instead of voter intimidation?
Fuck it. You know what?
It's the issues.
Yes.
It's just a scam, and you know what? I want to have the libertarians on the ballot just because I know they freaking hate it. You know, that's enough reason for me to support it. You know, I went out, I collected like, I don't know, 85 signatures, you know, before I left for the summer.
Right.
But, you know, honestly, what a freaking waste of resources. I mean, it's like, look at all the money and time and sweat that goes into getting, you know, fighting these ballot access battles. There's freaking huge money going down. Huge amounts of volunteer labor, huge amounts of litigation, and at some point we got to say, you know what? What's the opportunity cost? What else could you do with that time and money? And honestly, I do the calculation and I say, you know what? Fuck it. Just it's not worth it. Not worth the trouble, considering what how little you get out of it.
And you know what?
But,
I posted.
Yeah, that's my personal conclusion.
I posted stuff on my Facebook, and the one thing I just don't like about the Libertarian Party of Illinois, okay, is that they have to play by everybody else's rules, okay, which is kind of not fair in a sense. But if you want to play in the game, okay, you got to go by the rules that are set before you, okay. So if your candidate gets kicked off the ballot, all right, and I'm talking to all you libertarians out there in the state of Illinois, all right, if your candidate gets kicked off the ballot because of some GOP nastiness, okay, if you want to play real politics, okay, the primaries, okay, for the GOP, okay, in 2015, okay, are around December time. Get your asses down to Springfield, okay, and start going through petitions and kicking their asses off the ballot. If you want to play hardball, okay, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not a LP supporter, okay. If you want to play hardball, okay, you come down to Springfield, okay, and you start kicking their candidates off the ballot.
Woo!
And once you start kicking people off the ballot, Republicans off the ballot, maybe if they'll think twice about kicking you off the ballot next time.
True.
I mean, that's politics. Politics is a nasty game. Am I right?
Politics is pretty fucking awful, and that's why
Politics is awful. But if you want to be involved in politics, okay, and you're forced to play by the same goddamn game as those two parties that have stepped before you, okay, you got to play that game back. Unfortunately, you can't be the nice guy. Fuck that nice guy bullshit. This is Illinois, all right? We've got governors in jail, all right?
Multiple
Governors in jail.
I
say,
Illinois is one
fuck
of the
that bullshit.
states ever, isn't it? Yeah.
So if you want to play hardball, if they're gonna play hardball on you, okay, you gotta play it back, because that's the only way you're gonna get respect in this state, okay, is playing the hardball. And unfortunately, if you want to get down and dirty and get your hands dirty, okay, they're getting their hands dirty by kicking you off. Shit, why don't we return the goddamn favor? I'm serious. And this is what I've been trying to say for the last freaking 6 to 8 years, okay, of the GOP shenanigans, okay? It's time to return the fucking favor and kick their fucking guys off the ballot. Spend a couple of days down in Springfield, all right, comb through their petitions, because a lot of those candidates are round-tabling a lot of their petitions, okay, going through phone books and just signing whoever, all right, or getting primary lists, okay, and just signing their names on there, all right, and clearing it, and they're free and clear. All right, but still, if you want to play in politics, you're gonna have to fight back. And if they kick your candidates off the ballot this year, okay, then you're gonna have to do it during their primary season.
Agreed.
That's the only fucking way you're gonna get respect in the state, okay, is returning the fucking favor. I'm sick of these libertarian pussies, okay? And that's what they are, okay? Bunch of fucking pussies, all right? Wanting to play nice guy. You can't play nice guy in politics. Politics is not a nice guy kind of thing. All right, and this is the reason why I'm not in politics, because I'll be down and dirty, okay? Down and fucking dirty, all right? That's the reason why I'm not in it, because I can't do that, all right? But if you want to play the game, you're going to have to do it. You got to be like them, okay? Because the odds are against you. So what do you need to do to make the odds for you? Is to play the fucking game, all right? Just like Monopoly. Just like fucking Monopoly, man.
Me going when I hit troubles.
So,
I'm serious. I'm serious. I've been around politics ever since '88, okay? And I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen, you know, everything. Okay? I saw the 2004 LP convention in Atlanta, Georgia. When not Nolan, but Nolan, not David Nolan, but the taller Nolan, who was running for president, Jerry Nolan, okay, went up to the podium and said, "Vote for Michael Bednarik." And I was an Aaron Russo fan. All right? And that's what swayed just about everybody to vote for Michael Bednarik, and that's how Michael Bednarik got the presidency. Not to say Michael Bednarik was a bad guy, okay? But I've seen it all. 2008, when it was between Bob Barr and Mary Ruick, and Wayne Allen Root came up and said, "Hey, you should vote. All my guys should vote for Bob Barr." And that's how Bob Barr won and look how terrible the candidate Bob Barr was.
He was the worst candidate I could think of.
And look at back in 2012. Okay? Gary Johnson said, "Well, I'm not going to be able to compete in the GOP. I'm going to shift over to the LP. All right? And I'm going to make those motherfuckers pay for my debt that I incurred as a GOP candidate for president."
I'm just an
Politics,
artist. Oh my god.
Politics is a bad game. Okay?
Terrible, which is why I'm an artist. I don't give a fuck.
And that's why if I ever got into politics, I would be the guy in the background. Okay? I would be the guy in the background going, "Okay, yeah, we're going to switch some numbers here. We're going to roll with it here." You know? But I would never be up front. Okay? Because I know how it is on the front lines.
Should I change my flower from the left side to the right?
Well, I have to pee so
I
bad.
don't know. Chris,
All right.
I think
You leaving this?
Yeah, no, I totally do. We both totally do. However, I think it's probably time that we end it because I'm feeling like it's bedtime.
Okay.
And Jim Babb is gone, and I'm kind of drunk.
Yeah, we're gonna get Jeffrey Tucker.
We should get Jeffrey Tucker though.
Yes.
We need
So Jeff, if you're listening to me, I'm your boy. Okay.
We're gonna be helping you.
I'm an ANCAP just like you. Okay. Get your butt on the show. We'll even drink bourbon for one night.
We
One
will.
night.
We will. always
It won't be the beer bullshit show. It will be the bourbon and bullshit show.
That's exactly right. The bourbon and bullshit show.
I got some leftover bourbon from like a year ago. Come on, we can do this.
What happened?
Oh my God! Nothing lasts in our house. If whiskey gets brought in the house, it looks like this in like 2 days. It's like, oh, you bought that yesterday? Yep.
It's gone.
It's gone.
I've got this. It's Evan Williams. All right. It's the honey,
Wow.
and it's still good.
Yeah, of course it's still fucking good. The point is like, why the fuck haven't you drank it?
Well, because I'm concentrated on beer, honey. I work for a beer distributor. So, all right. Thank you guys for coming on this week. I enjoyed it. Come back next week.
We will.
We'll do it all again.
All right.
Good night.
Chris.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Everybody leave you?
Mm-hmm.
I think they left because you were going off about politics.
No, actually, they were discussing something earlier.